What's good, YouTube? It's me, Coach 67 Sports TV. Shout out to the awesome and amazing LDBC, Lions Den Boston community. Well, in this instance, Lions Den basketball community. Shout out to the greatest university in the world, the Southern University, home of the mighty Jaguars. Even though I'm shouting out Southern University in this particular video is about LSU. All right, last night the Lady Tigers captured the NCAA National Championship for women. So they captured the Women's National Championship. And this particular team is the best team I've seen in years since they had Simone Augustus and Sylvia Fowles. I mean, this is an excellent LSU team. Now, in the National Championship game, I wanted to see them play South Carolina. I wanted them to avenge their loss, and I wanted them to beat them on the grand stage. However, they ended up playing Iowa, and they won a national championship. Now, it was a good game, a lot of excitement. And this particular LSU team, it has brought a lot of notoriety to women's basketball this particular season. But the thing I don't like in this whole this whole situation, is the fact that this whole situation with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, it has pretty much overshadowed the fact that LSU has won the Women's National Championship. Now, for those individuals that don't know, this has been like the biggest sports story in this news cycle for the last like 24 hours or so. Now, for those individuals that don't know, Angel Reese, she's from the DMV area. She's from Baltimore, Maryland. She's a star player on LSU's team. She did the John Cena "You Can't See Me" hand gesture. Now, Caitlin Clark has been doing the same hand gesture. Now, when Caitlin Clark does the same "You Can't See Me" John Cena hand gesture, now understand this. Before we get to that point, John Cena didn't come up with his hand gesture. However, he's most synonymous for it. So we just going to attribute it to him. So when Caitlin Clark does this "You Can't See Me" hand gesture, basically, they say she's a fiery competitor. She's such a leader. She's a real competitive spirit. However, when Angel Reese used the same hand gesture, she's classless. She's ghetto, she's hood, so on and so forth. It's amazing the ridiculous double standard in this particular instance, and this, crazy how people just trying to manufacture this false narrative. And the crazy thing about it is, they showed, the cultural difference between the two teams. Now, in pregame, leading up to the game, Iowa, they listening to like some high school musical type song, whatever the case may be. And LSU Lady Tigers, listening to Boost, it set it off. Now, I live only 10 minutes away from Southern University's campus. Now, whether you are on a campus of Southern University, if you're on LSU's campus, or you anywhere in Baton Rouge, really anywhere in this particular region, the surrounding areas, whether it's a sporting event, football game, basketball game, you're the club, you're the party, whatever the case may be, you're going to hear that song in Baton Rouge often, and you're going to hear it a lot. So it's just kind of part of the culture here in Baton Rouge, Boosted from this area, and, he's one of the biggest rappers ever to come from this area, and that song's extremely popular. So, it just kind of shows the cultural difference between, the two teams. But the fact that Angel Reese did the "You Can't See Me" hand gesture to Caitlin Clark, the fact that she's received all this backlash, it just kind of shows you how like racism is embedded in the fabric of this country, and like the double standard and the discrepancy, like not just in this particular game, but across the landscape of sports. I really didn't like Brett Favre when he was playing quarterback back in the day. The reason being, it wasn't the fact that I didn't like Brett Favre himself personally, but the fact that you could watch a game a black quarterback could throw in a double coverage, and the commentators will be like, "Oh my goodness, that was stupid, a stupid decision." Yet Brett Favre could turn around and literally, I've seen him, literally throw in a quadruple coverage. Oh, what a gunslinger, what a play. And I'm thinking to myself, like, are we watching the same game? The black quarterback threw in a double coverage, and the announcers called him stupid. Brett Favre threw in a quadruple coverage, and he's a gunslinger. Same thing when I used to watch HBO Championship Boxing. Oscar De La Hoya, he's boxing. What beautiful boxing by Oscar De La Hoya. He's on his toes. He's using his jab. That's beautiful boxing. Floyd Mayweather Jr., Gilmore Ringendale, they do the exact same thing. Oh, this is boring. I don't want to watch this. This is boring. And I'm thinking to myself, like, and the crazy thing about it is, you would ask Larry Merchant and Jim Lampley, like, hey, you don't see the double standard? Like, that's kind of racist what you're doing. I bet you at that time, and even to this day, they saw no problem with what they were doing, and they don't see the issue. And the crazy thing about it is they pointing on the owner of Barstool Sports. Basically he called Angel Reese a classless piece of crap, and he didn't say crap. Now, had he called Caitlin Clark the exact same thing, I promise you, with the day and age we live in, with the cancel culture, he will be canceled. So it's crazy how, in this day and age, that we still suffering a lot of same issues, as black people that we did during Jim Crow era and even in slavery days, in terms of just the ridiculous, like, double standard. And like I said, when Angel Reese, she did the exact same thing Caitlin Clark did. And now, granted, Caitlin Clark is a dog. She's a very good player. And the fact that they beat South Carolina, I was astonished. I didn't think they were going to win that game. But they did. And rightfully so, she got the praise that she got. And when she did the exact same hand gesture, it was no problem. In fact, she was praised for it. She was applauded for it. But yet, on the flip side, Angel Reese does the same thing. She's considered to be ghetto and hood and ratchet and all these other things. And it's just sad. And I mean, it's definitely prevalent across the landscape in sports, in all sports, whether it's, NFL, NBA, football, basketball, whatever the case may be. In the education system and the justice system is ridiculous because, a black person and a white person commit the exact same crime. And, the white person probably get probation, whereas the black person might get sentenced to 20 years of life in prison. So it's crazy. And more than anything, I just don't like the fact that this whole controversy with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, it overshadowed the fact that LSU won a national championship, and they did it in style and in fashion. And it's just sad how we just live in a society and a culture with these ridiculous double standards. So if you saw any value in this video, like the video, share the video, comment in the comment section, subscribe to the channel. Also, click the notification bell so you can be alerted anytime I post any new videos. I'll catch y'all on the rebound. Have a blessed, phenomenal evening. Peace and blessings.